I want to take the time now to address some of our young people. And by I mean young people, I mean anybody really under 50 years of age, maybe even under 60 years of age. I have to tell you that we need truth, and particularly the Hamite, that is black or African American people. We need the truth. And what anybody under the age of 50 fails to understand that we used to have a life, Hamite people, black people, we used to have a life that was a great life, that it was a credible life, it's a noteworthy life. It's all been lost. And I want to bring up some photos of Harlem before the days of Dr. King, before the days of Obama and Al Sharpton. I want to show you what Harlem, what humanity in Harlem, what people in Harlem used to look like. This is just a group of a family probably right across the street from where we are at present on the stoop. Look at the men, all in suits and ties, and look at the children, all orderly sitting there on the curb, and the women, all tightly dressed. You see, the problem is because people are attacking me. This is Harlem, 125th Street. This is men with hats and decent coats, not these black bubble jackets that they wear. You know, see, one pair of sneakers on the street, women with decent coats and hats and looking decent. I am being attacked. I've stated that, and I was talking to Elizabeth about this last night, that I was safer in prison in Rayford. I was safer in the Brooklyn House of Detention than I am in Harlem right now. Black people hate me because they are ignorant they're just ignorant of truth. They're ignorant of Jesus. They're ignorant of the power of God. They're ignorant of the power of economy, and they are godless. They are without God. They are racist. They are haters. And quite frankly, I would be safer today in Attica prison or Sing Sing or Alcatraz than I am right now because of black people. You know, the days of Marcus Garvey, the days of Bojangles, these are people in the streets. Look at the hats out there of the men. Look at the women. Look at what they look like. This is Marcus Garvey leading an economic march of 7th Avenue. And even the days of Joe Louis and Joe Louis serving Bojangles at when Joe Louis had his restaurant. See, this is a Harlem that people under 50 or 60 years of age don't know nothing about. This is when we were an astute people, a God-fearing people, a people that love the Lord, a people who worship Almighty God, a people of integrity, a people of hard work. And Harlem was a beautiful place. It was just a very beautiful place. Now, what I want to do now is I want to show people the Obama worshiper, the rapper, the young black people under 50 or 60 years of age. They're full of hate. They are poor. They're penniless. They are homeless. It is a crime to look at and they hate me because I want to dress men up again. This is, and especially for our young people, this is a scene right across the street from the church, right? This is Harlem now. This is Harlem now. Look at that. Look at this. There's a fellow over there, right there by that car, bending over. These are black men just idly. They got no jobs. They look how they're dressed. There's a wheelchair over there. They're dealing drugs. This is Harlem today. I mean, and this is the Harlem that Obama gave them. This is the Harlem that Dr. King gave them. This is the Harlem that Sharpton gave them. This is Harlem today. And for the young people, this, by the way, this is right across, for people across the globe. There's a fella right there. See the red underwear? See his red underwear? See him look like he getting ready to do number 2 right there in the street. This is Harlem today. This is Marcus Garvey wouldn't know what. See the red underwear? See his butt? See, Marcus Garvey wouldn't know what to do with that. Yeah, the people of integrity when Harlem was Harlem, they look at these people. Look at what they look like as opposed to what I showed you earlier. And I want to show you here. We were talking the other day about the parents. Yeah, thank you, Mr. India. They show them the picture of men sleeping in the streets. You do remember the picture I just showed you of what black people used to look like with hats and coats and furs and spats and suits and automobiles and power, right? And here y'all come now, here's what the Harlem that Obama's giving you. The Harlem that Dr. King gave you. And people hate and want to kill me. Call me Uncle Tom, Uncle Ruckus. Because I'd like to have a decent community in which to live. Obama has given you this Harlem. Dr. King has given you this Harlem. Al Sharpton has given you the Harlem you just saw. That's Harlem that Obama and Dr. King has given you. But and so when your relatives, your friends, these churches and preachers and Black Lives Matter talking about kill man and hate man and man to hate preacher, they want you to have this, because this is what they've given you. I want to show you a picture of a modern day mother. Now, I don't want anybody, because we got some decent mothers in our congregation, decent mothers who have children in our school. But I want to show you the kind of mama that in these houses, or many of these young people, these young boys, these young girls. I'll show you a mama, what she's doing with her young boy, and they're just young, but I can tell you, there are many 60-year-old mamas doing the same thing with their 20-year-old. Look at that. This is a modern day mama. This is Obama mama. This is a Dr. King mama. This is Al Sharpton. Look at this woman. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Now this is her young boy. Those are her children, right? That's her children. Look at that. This is the world that Obama has given you. This is the world that Al Sharpton has given you, right? And these are the people that hate the hell out of Manning. He ain't for black man. Always beating down on the black man. We black people got to stick together. But you see, here, let me say one other thing. You know, I posted up last time we were together that, you know, this, if you will, this Dante, whoever the last name is, George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, Jacob Blake, if they had just not resisted arrest, they'd be alive today and we wouldn't know a damn thing about them. But in the spirit of the Obama black man and Dr. Martin Luther King black man and the Al Sharpton black man and the black leaders of today black man, what is being taught, and see the ignorance that will literally blow your mind, the ignorance of the Hamite man, black man today, is that he's been taught how to rebel. The modern day, if you will, black man, and modern day churches and preachers are taught from the pulpit how to rebel against authority. You see, the reason why Dante or whoever it is, and Michael, Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown, and a whole host of others, the reason why they're dead is because they rebelled against authority. Resisting arrest is rebellion against authority. The police got the authority, man. He got the authority. These churches, these people, these Dr. Kings, these Obamas, these Sharpton, they teach rebel against authority. You're going to die, man. You can't do that. You know, being a little bit more, I suppose, worded historically accurate on this, you know, this movement about Dr. King called nonviolent movement, you know what he called his movement? The nonviolent resistance, right? We are rebelling against authority, but we're doing it nonviolently. We're not going to pick up arms against authority, but we're going to rebel. It was systematic rebellion. It's the teaching of systematic disobedience, what Dr. King taught. It's systematic disobedience. And by the way, see, now I got really going to lose y'all. Y'all going to turn me off now. But see, Dr. King while studying, I guess, at Boston University, or wherever he got his PhD, learned about a fellow by the name of Henry David Thoreau, who's a 19th century philosopher, transcendentalist, and writer, and essayist, and poet, who wrote about civil disobedience. Henry David Thoreau. Look him up if you ever want, if you can read more than one page in 2 days. And Henry David Thoreau taught that to rebel against authority, rebel against the powers that be, do it in a civil way, and you have a right to do it. He was a graduate of Harvard, worshipped by a whole lot of people, but mainly worshipped by Dr. King. Dr. King's teaching black people how to rebel, how to be disobedient. He called it civil disobedience, but it's disobedience whether you put the adjective civil before it or not. He taught disobedience, and it's been picked up throughout the whole black church. It's been picked up through black politicians and young people right now. Young man on the street, hell, he's disobedient to any authority. He wants to rebel. He wants to rebel against it. He thinks he can rebel against the police. He thinks he can tell the police, you can't arrest me. And I'm watching this sickness going on the television now about everybody defending all these people who got shot by the police. Listen, the police say, get in the car, get in the car. That's all. The police say, get out the car, get out the car. All these people everywhere, all over television, everywhere, talking about how bad the police is. Well, this fellow Dante that was killed out there Sunday in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, right? If he had just simply allowed himself to be arrested, he tried to leave the scene. He got killed. I'm gonna ask you a question. Here's a question. This is one man that got killed Sunday. How many people you think got arrested last Sunday, right? Across America, right? Across America. How many people you got, when they got arrested, when the police said, come turn around, put the handcuffs, they turned around, put the handcuffs on, sit down, got in the car, went to jail, the way like they had some sense. Not in the rebellious way. How many people? Think 1,000 people across America, across all states and cities. How many people you think actually got arrested but didn't get shot? Because they did what the police told them to do, right? They did what the police told them to do, right? And they're alive today. 1,000? America, police arrest Sunday afternoon, maybe 2,000, maybe 5,000 people all across America from San Diego to New Hampshire got arrested, but none of them got shot. Why? Because they didn't rebel against the police. That's how come they didn't get shot. But this guy, he tried to leave, so he got shot. Now they're trying to blame the woman because she should have used the right gun or the wrong gun. That's beside the point. Had the boy never done what he did, there'd be no need for her to pull the gun. We need to back all this thing. That when I look at, and you got 50 and 60 and 70, 80-year-old people and grandmamas in the church, and all the hell they know how to do is rebel. They are the most rebellious people. But during the days of Marcus Garvey, the days I showed you earlier, we weren't rebellious. And then the other thing as a result of this is that rebellion, Dr. King taught people how to rebel, how to be disobedient, right? How to be disobedient to the word of God. And out of that has grown the rap music. Rap music ain't nothing but a bunch of no singing, if you will, young boys getting up saying the hell with the police. I'm rebelling against everything. Hell, I'm rebelling against my mama. I'm rebelling against the woman that gave birth to my children. The hell with all of them. They're all H's and B's. Rap music ain't nothing but a greater sense, a symphony of rebellion that's been taught by Al Sharpton, taught by Dr. King, taught by Obama, and taught by all these black leaders, taught by these black churches. It is rebellion. Rap music ain't nothing but rebellion put to some drums and some humming and whatever the hell else they do. It is rebellion, and as a result of rap music, you've seen now an escalating of 1,000% of more black youth killing each other and more police shooting one another, because rebellion is what they listen to in their rap music. It's rebellion that Suge Knight promoted. It's rebellion that Tupac Shakur promoted. And they died. They promoted rebellion, and Tupac died by rebellion. It is the sickest damn thing what you see these black folk do, being taught by people like Dr. King to rebel, being taught by Obama, being taught by Al Sharpton, being taught by the powers that be, being taught by the powers, by the churches, being taught by the grandmama and the to rebel against Manning, rebel against his righteousness, rebel against him, but look what it's got you. Look what it's got you. You know, when that boy, when George Floyd was being put in that police car, there was a 60-year-old man who only graduated from the 3rd grade, said to George Floyd, he said to him, man, George Floyd, just get in the car. His name is Charles McMillan. He testified last week. He said, Floyd, just get in the car. You can't win, man. They got you handcuffed. Can't you see? Stop fighting. You can't win, George. You can't win. He kept telling Charles McMillan. He tried to tell George, get in the car, shut up, sit down, and you'd be alive today. Churches, grandmamas, grandpapas, 60, 70-year-old are telling young people, rebel against Manning, rebel against the truth, rebel against Jesus, rebel against America, rebel, rebel, rebel. And death and hell and poverty is all over the place. Rebellion is what Dr. King taught. Called a civil rebellion. Rebellion. It's what you see from every black leader and every rebel against the authority of God that made man, man, and woman, woman. Rebel and become transgendered. Rebel and woman marry woman. Rebel and man, rebel. You've never seen anybody as sick as these dummies in their rebellion against the authority of God. And yet, they can't figure out why they're dying, why they're poor. Look at Harlem today. Look at Harlem. Mr. Engineer, one more time. Before the teaching of rebellion from Dr. King and black leaders, through the rebellion, Mr. Engineer, this is what rebellion will get you. This is where it'll lead you. And it just gets worse. And they think they are doing God a favor by hating ATLAH, by hating the truth, by hating righteousness, right out in front of us all day long, all night long. Rebellion, you can't hold a job. Rebellion, you can't pay rent. Rebellion, you got to go to a shelter. Rebellion, rebel. Don't submit yourself to Manning, whatever the hell you do. But I can tell you something, my friend, you're going to die. If you don't die of a gunshot, you're going to die of poverty. If you don't die of poverty, you're going to die of some sort of sickness. And that's what has happened to our communities. And that's what's being taught in our churches, those that are left. I do declare I have never seen anything. Anybody under 60 years old, if they're black, I swear before God, well, that we do have some exceptions. Let me qualify that, you know. But you see the way that mama got her, you know what, in the face of her son? You see that? I see a 60-year-old mama the same way with their 20-year-old sons. I see the same, ain't no difference. Ain't a damn bit of difference. Ain't a damn bit of difference. It is as sick as it comes. No one would have ever dreamed of anything like that 60, 70 years ago. No one ever dreamed that a woman would do that to her children. No one ever dreamed it. And no one can really dream it now. It's a reality. This is the world that Dr. King and Obama and Al Sharpton and all these black leaders, these intelligentsia, all these people in these colleges and universities and all these rap people, this is the world they've given to the black man. And so they can keep that world to themselves. They want to kill Manning, destroy him, hate on him, and lie on him, and try their very best to undermine everything he's doing. I'm not going to quit because I'm the Lord's servant. I am James David Manning. This is a bit of a news blog we do looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information. Over the years, we have served more than 1 million meals to hungry bellies and hungry people here in the Harlem community. And I wanted you to be able to see that. I want you to see our involvement with youth, our summer youth programs, our courtyard being used as a place where children can be safe, guarded, and protected as they have their miniature swimming pools, and a safe place for children to eat that is guarded, that is protected by our own sense of security, and the wholesome and fresh meals that we serve. We wanted you to be able to see the mission of this church. And we've been doing this for years. Just recently, one of our members, more than a 30-year member of this church, but it hasn't, not one that, that you would probably find as members of some other churches with their nose stuck up in the air. But her father is now close to death or very sick in the state of South Carolina. And I said to her, because she doesn't have money, I said, we will buy you a bus ticket, a round trip bus or train ticket for you to travel to South Carolina to be with your father in this time of pandemic. There's very little funding around. There's sickness everywhere. And the thing that just blew me away was she said, as she was talking to Elizabeth, she said, but how are you going to do that, to pay for me a round trip ticket to travel and give me expense money? And because Pastor Manning has to feed the children, he has to educate the children, he has to buy school supplies for them, he has to pick them up in the mornings and take them back, and then he's got the ministry he has to take care of, all the bills of running the church, of keeping a major house like our house operational, keep the lights on, how are you going to be able to do that? And she was almost reluctant to take the money because she felt that it would be better served by feeding the children. We gave it to her anyway. But we want you to know that we do a work in this community. There have been a lot of lies told on us. And it's almost unimaginable why some of the people that have lied on us. But I can tell you behind all of it is the LGBTQ community. They don't want us to be successful, but we are, and we're going to continue to be successful in serving the meals that we're serving and serving the people that we are. And the LGBTQ community will not take us down. They are not going to take our church. Yet they've defamed us. They've written ugly newspaper articles about us. They've marched against us. They've done a whole lot of ugly things. But you see what we have done, and that's not even the half of our service to children and to the needy in terms of our homeless shelters and the things that we've done over the years. And we will continue. And probably the lies and the smears and the ugly newspaper articles and the wicked spirits and the so-called I ain't for the black man, that is not going to go away. I don't expect it to go away. I don't. But I do tell you this, that we will succeed against all of that, for God is with us, and I am his servant.